What's up, universe? Josh Bricklary here, and today we are going to be taking a look at two pieces of gear that have been setting the streaming world on fire. The Rode PodMic and the Elgato Wave XLR. You can get each of these on Amazon or other retailers. I'll have some links down below in the description. You can also find these as part of a kit that I've created with some other streaming and essential gear for working from home and whatever you may be doing for some high quality audio out of these pieces of gear. So go down in the description below, click on those links, and see what I've put together for you. In addition to checking out these new pieces of electronics, we're also going to be comparing them to my current setup, which is using a 6-7-year-old condenser microphone along with a fairly inexpensive USB XLR input. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can tell a difference right off the bat from my old setup to this new audio setup. Now, first up, I want to talk about the Rode PodMic, and as the name suggests, it is geared toward podcasting. But what's wonderful about this is it is a dynamic microphone in a very small package. This has a built-in pop filter. Being a dynamic microphone, a lot of them do, just the way that they are designed. You speak into the front of the mic, whereas a lot of condensers you speak into what I would call the side, as they sit a little bit more upright when speaking into a condenser microphone. Dynamic mics, if you're not familiar with how microphones work, actually use your voice and the air that you speak to power the driver that then creates the sound and sends it down the line. So dynamic mics are usually used a lot closer to your mouth, but what's great about those is they block out a lot of outside sound, so that's not going to pick up room sounds and usually keyboard clicks, mouse clicks, things like that, which is why I think they've become so popular in the streaming space. One of the most popular dynamic microphones that you may see almost every Twitch streamer out there use is a Shure SM7B. Now that microphone costs about $400 if you're looking at Amazon right now, and is it's really overkill for most people unless you are in a studio doing some recording. But once you send your audio into your computer, into your processor, you're doing all your streaming, it's getting compressed, and then you're sending it to the website and someone's watching it on their phone over Wi-Fi, not on headphones, a lot of that quality is going to be lost. So the Rode PodMic has really slid into a space where we can get a high quality mic which can pump out a lot of really good audio, but it's not breaking the bank, and it makes sense for someone to use in a streaming setup that is still budget friendly. Now that leads me to the Elgato Wave XLR. This is an audio interface that is actually designed with streamers in mind. This has a lot of really awesome features that, if you are at all familiar with their Wave line of microphones, comes built right in. It essentially turns any XLR microphone into a Wave microphone with the help of all that Wave software. The Wave software, for those unfamiliar, is a really great way to have multiple audio inputs and channels set up so that you can better direct that audio to your stream and to your own headphones. Inside of the software, you can adjust what you hear versus what your stream hears. So you can turn the music down in your own ears so maybe you can hear the game better, but allow that music to be a little bit higher for your viewers to set that ambient tone. I said ambient. It's ambient tone or ambiance. So the beautiful thing right off the bat with the Wave XLR is that Wave interface, the software that comes along with it. It also, though, has some really cool features just baked right in. For one, we were just talking about the Shure SM7B and needing a lot of gain. Well, this guy can power one of those. Granted, we don't need it here, but you can get up to 75 decibels of gain in this little package. That's impressive. It's also a very simple and easy to use device. You've got one main knob that twists and pushes in to change between the different modes that you can see the little LED lights in the bottom left. And then it's got a capacitive mute button. So really just touching it, the touch of your hand will set that mute, and then all the lights turn red to know that you are muted. On the backside, you'll see just 3 inputs, well, inputs, outputs. So you get your USB-C, which goes from the device to your PC, you've got an XLR input, and you've got a headphone jack that goes out into your headphones. So all in all, this device looks simple, looks like it shouldn't be able to do a lot, but yet it packs in more features than most every other audio interface on the market right now. Alright, so let's actually hop over, set these things up, and see what they sound like compared to my current / previous audio setup for the stream. Alright, so this is me on my current / now previous audio setup that I use for my live streams. So the microphone is a CAD Audio GXL 2200. Now I bought this from Amazon all the way back in 2015. That makes it over 6 years ago. I purchased it at the time for $58. Now right now on Amazon, you can get it for $98. I don't know if I got a crazy good deal or a sale or what was going on, but I got a good deal back then. Now this microphone, obviously you see I have a little just foam pop filter on top of it. Small, simple, does the job I need for live streaming. Now the microphone itself though is going through an XLR cable to my current audio interface, and that is a Behringer Xenyx XENYX 302 USB Premium. Now that I purchased back in February of 2016, so a little bit younger, almost 5 years at this point that I've had, no, over 5 years, almost 6 that I've had the interface. Now I purchased that at the time for only $36. I bought this used like new condition. Now a brand new one right now goes for $59 on Amazon. So still not too bad. Again, a very budget friendly setup. So this is how I sound normally whenever I live stream, just using these pieces. Now let's set up the new stuff, the PodMic and the Wave XLR, and see if we can hear any differences. I'm not going to change any settings in my streaming software or on the computer itself. Just going to plug them in, get it set up, and use the defaults. See where we're at. All right, see you in a sec. All right, so we're back. Different shirt, different day, maybe a different voice. Had to take a few days off before actually finishing this video due to getting a little sick. So voice might not be exactly how it was in the last video. Let's not blame it on the mic. But this is what the PodMic sounds like going through the Wave XLR. Now, I do have a little bit of a story about the Wave XLR. In setting it up, I was a little bit more frustrated with the setup process than I probably should have been. And the reason being, come to find out, was I was connecting the Wave XLR via a USB 2.0 input on my motherboard, whereas I needed to put it into a USB 3.0. And no documentation that I saw specified that I needed to do that. But basically, I was not getting any audio. It just was not working. I connected it and it seemed to be seen by the computer itself, but I was not able to select it and utilize it as an input or output. So switching to a different USB port did the trick. So heads up for that. You do need to have a USB 3 or 3.1 or basically not a USB 2.0 input for your Wave XLR to get the proper, power and just bandwidth for that input output of the audio. That being said, once I got that figured out, really smooth sailing. Setting up the WaveLink software, which you can take a look at here. I have a few things set up. I have the Wave XLR. Then I added music, which is actually linked to my iTunes. So when I do play some music during the stream, whether it be starting the stream or just chatting or, instead of the music in game or what have you, then voice chat, that is going to be linked to Discord so that I can have that. Possibly if I'm playing with friends on stream, maybe I don't want them being broadcast to the stream, or I do, and I just want to be able to turn them down. I have some control there. And then the system sound. So that's going to be games, you know, if I pull up a YouTube video, but anything that comes through the computer, basically. And as you can see, they have little links and locks. So I can set those balances and I can lock that. So whenever I do adjust, it keeps that ratio, basically, that balance between my headphones and the stream output. So, yeah, I mean, the WaveLink software, I think, is the biggest buying point, really, of the Wave XLR, more than just any other XLR input, because what I had before did the trick, but the WaveLink software gives that usability and that flexibility with stream, and I'm not having to window out and toggle, you know, 4 different volumes and mixes, whether it be my mic, whether it be the music, whether it be, you know, whatever. So this should add some simplicity and hopefully some quality as well to the live streams. Now, the PodMic, as I've been talking to this whole time, is naked. I did also buy a pop filter, basically the foam windscreen, for this as well. I'll throw that on in a second so we can listen to that. All right, so as you can see, I've got the windscreen on, and it's a chunky thing. It it definitely adds a lot of bulk, and I don't know if I like the bulk just looking at it. And it maybe is helpful for the plosives. Just saying the word plosive is a good test. So yeah, this is me talking directly into the mic. I know a lot of times I talk just a little bit off kilter so I can look at the camera, but if I were talking while gaming, I'm looking at my main monitor, and this is what you're going to hear. So plosives, popping, and, you know, a bunch of other P sounds, because Peter Pepper. That could have been bad. I don't know until I listen to it in post. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this on. I really like the look of the Rode mic, of the Rode PodMic without this. I think it just looks really good. It's a sharp looking microphone. So, you know, if this makes a big difference, I may keep it. But if it doesn't really make too big of a difference audio wise, I think the aesthetics of the microphone itself is just too good. So that's that. All right. Now I'm excited to hear what you think about those two setups. So leave a comment down below, and be sure to check that description if you want to get one for yourself. I'll leave the links there. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. That's what the algorithm is liking to see right now. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel because this will be my main source of all my content. My video game live streams, my content that I create in these long form videos. So please subscribe, stick around, and I'll see you next time I post something fun. Speaking of fun, we've moved since the last time I really posted a video. So like the other video that's my room tour, the office everything tour, that's in the old house. So I should be making a new office room tour soon. So subscribe, stay tuned for that. Okay, bye.